Hey guys, Jim Graves here. Um, kind of letting you see kind of a little bit of the new room. I do have kind of a white table that's kind of jotted out um, in the middle of the room, and then this chair. Usually it's flipped around backwards, and it's actually up against it. I can actually read, and there's a plug-in over here where I can kind of run a lamp along the edge of the table and kind of put it over the edge of this chair. So really good reading chair. So I actually took this out of another room. I was like, nobody sits in it. And I said, I'm going to put it in here. And I said, it's going to be my reading chair. Um, so before I get into it, this is our, uh, our TBR shelf and stuff right here that y'all have seen before. This is one of my favorite shelves. So you can't really see anything else this way. That's kind of the normal stuff that until our mystery guest, as you all have heard in some of the other videos, gets here. This stuff won't be done. I'm actually getting another bookshelf to go in the corner later on, so that'll be good. Um, anyway, I forgot to grab a series. So everything that's on this is my current TBR stuff that I'm currently reading in one way or another. Either I've read one book in it, or I started the series in some way. So that's kind of what all this is. What we're doing this video for, to see if there's some that you guys want me to read ahead of time. I know there's a couple of them over here to my left that are on a little table, and then some that are over here right behind the laptop. Not too much. But I have all that, and we're just going to kind of, I'm going to go through them and say, hey, let y'all know which ones I'm currently on and which ones you guys think I should pick up reading and get through faster. Maybe for a review video, or if you want me to read through them and talk about them or whatever. So some of them are bigger in some ways. Some of these are ones that I will get to faster than others because it's a series that I want to jump in. But there's not many of those. If you saw my unboxing the other day, that time I got reincarnated as a slime will probably be one of those that I just hop on and I end up reading it real fast so I can add it over here to my favorite shelf. But, different stuff. Another cool thing, you can barely see it, is right here above my head, just barely. So I finally got a Funko that was anime related or whatever. I have a couple Dr. Seuss ones. That's about it. And some of the Power Ranger ones I got and I ended up keeping instead of giving to my brother because, he's a bigger Power Ranger fan than me, but they're from the movie, so they're kind of weird. So stuff like that. But I got a Shota Aizawa. So the teacher of My Hero Academia, Eraserhead with the bands and stuff that he uses, that's who that is. So that's my first one that I have. I don't know how many more, or even if there's a lot more of some of them that I want, but we will check that out later. Hey, Masco J. Oh man, you're not late. I decided to do this out of nowhere. But yeah, so anyway, guys, that's what this video is kind of going to be about, is just my TBR current stuff, anything that I'm currently on. I've started at least one book in the series or something like that, and which ones y'all want to decide that I should pick up and go farther on, like now, or within the next month. Yes, the TBR is to be read. These whole bookshelves right here is everything I haven't read yet. But I'm trying to finish off everything else that I have that's right here on a little table and right here beside the laptop. That way I can get to these two bookshelves right here of stuff to read. So I'm trying to finish off both of these, and then I'll probably do a contest or something to see which one somebody wants me to read out of this. So you never know. I did forget to bring one series down here and put it on either side, but that's fine because it's a big series. It would take up a lot of room. I do have one volume down here of it, because of how it's laid out. I ended up holding on to it. And there's one chapter I haven't finished of the volume that I'm on. And the reason why is because it goes into the next storyline part of it. And that's actually this one right here, which is Case Closed. There's a lot I have to read on it. I think I'm only at 20. And if you know about Case Closed, it's almost up to about 70 something. So, yes, I am ready for Tuesday. I have no idea, but you and I know, are at least ready for Tuesday. So, anyway, let's get into some of these. This is one I'm trying to get through right now. I haven't even started. It's kind of low on my thing because I've liked this series and I'm kind of like, I don't want it to end. So it's taken me a little while to even try and get into the series, as far as reading this one volume. So that's the only bad thing I hate with this one. But it is Blood Blockade Battlefront. This is the last volume. Um, I don't know why, but it's kind of hard for me to try and jump into this one and finish it. I guess it was one of those series that did have more, was more impressionized upon me reading it than I thought. But hopefully we can kind of move past it and I can read this one soon. But anyway, so that's one. I'm going to try and keep these together as like a group so you know how many I'm behind on, except for the Case Closed one, obviously, because I'm way behind on that one with all this stuff right here. So it's pretty good. I like it. Um, Somebody texted me. Give me 1 second. So this one, right? So yeah, this was the first one. It's just one more. I need to read it, but like I said, I can't really just jump into it. Another one, it's kind of a series that's ongoing, but I'm only one book behind in it. Is a case study of Vanitas. Great series too. See if I can angle it down. Some of these lighter ones, it's a little hard because they just absorb light really well. So yeah, Vinland Saga. So I need to get to that one, but like I said, this whole bookshelf right here, or these two bookshelves, are ones I'm not reading yet. I'm trying to finish what I currently have reading to get to these two and Vinland Saga up there on the top, which I had to hold up there with Toothless and Deadpool. So, um, but yeah, let's see what else. Sorry for my familiar volume 2. Try and catch up on that. I'm a ledge mate. Uh, Again, volume 4 is over there too. I actually need to start that series. So, um, Monster Tamer Girl or Girls. A bunch of these ones are ones I'm only like one behind on. So it's not, these ones aren't that big to catch up on. Uh, Devilman Grimgar, Volume 3. Sekirei Volume 5. But Yeah, that's kind of all these are, just ones I'm trying to catch up on at the moment. And some of the other ones, if it's like whatever, all y'all can vote and say, hey, yeah, I think you should read that one. You should catch up on it. Let me know how it is. Good Witch of the West. I've already read the first 3 volumes of it. I'm just behind on these 4. Um, so if you can see all those together, let me angle it forward, I guess. I gotta lean over and put them somewhere else since there's so much room taken up right here. Let's see what else. Here's that one that I said. So this one, I've read all of it. As you can see, I'm just behind 1 chapter on it because I'm trying to get into the next part, but I didn't want to jump into this, the next part of this series just yet. So I kind of waited on that. I haven't read it yet. Forget it all. I haven't read Ubelblatt, but I bought it from somebody and they let me know. They were like, I think it's really good. Don't worry about it. So that's actually right here, if you can see it. I have all of them up to 9, waiting for 10 to come out. And then I'm probably going to jump into that one. That's why I'm trying to get all these other ones read so I can start all that stuff. And I mean, Ubelblatt and all that other stuff. I'll probably take like a poll and do like a random drawing and say, hey, Baku Watch or Masco J, if you win the drawing, what series of my TBR do you think I should read next? So just stuff like that. I already have Opossums. I think that's how you say it. I already have that one pre-ordered, so yeah, I'll be getting that one. I need to get into Blame though, or Blam, however you say it. Let me reach over here. Some more. So I've started this one kind of, and I can only say kind of because I've only read like the first 2 chapters of it. Hey, Spring Sierra. And this one kind of stopped me in my tracks because when I was trying to read it, I was kind of like, this is almost like Negima, if you've read that one. So this is what this one reminded me of. I think I have another one floating somewhere else, but this is the majority of it. Magica, Swordsman, and Sumner. So this is one I need to kind of catch up on. Like I said, if there's another series that's in here and all of y'all kind of are like, oh, you should read that one because you either want a review on it or something like that, let me know and I'll try and get to it and finish it. There's some in my bag too I have right now, which I forgot to grab that. I was going to show y'all what I have in my bag. I usually carry a bag with me everywhere, and I probably have anywhere between 4 and like 4 big omnibuses with me, or altogether usually about 10 volumes of manga I carry around. So everybody asks me, oh, that you carry that bag around all the time, can't be anything in there. Like if I was an art student and they're like, you probably have like a couple notebooks in there to do art or pencils or something. I'm like, no. Well, then they go pick it up and they're like, oh my God, this is like 20 pounds. I'm like, I like to read a lot. Sorry. So this is one I'm trying to hurry up and catch up on for real. I have 9 and 10 left to read before I get to 11, but this one's in my bag. So this is one I'm trying to catch up on real fast. Like, I'm going to take some from this side now. So Attack on Titan Before the Fall, trying to catch up on that. Seraph Within, trying to catch up on that. This is one I probably will catch up on maybe later today. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's probably one of my favorite series that I have right now. Um, hey man, let me know. We might look at it and try and see if we can fiddle around with it. Um, so Boruto, that's the last one in my hand. So guys, me and if you can see down in the comments too, well, that's probably what y'all are looking at to type anyway. Amaskio J and I are going to do a kind of just a chat night on Tuesday. And so we're going to sit there tomorrow. If y'all see us get on, it will probably be us just kind of playing around, trying to see how it works. Because I don't know what we're going to do it through first. If you want to pop over to his channel, I will be on that one. So sub to him so you can see that. If not, just make a note. Remember, we will be live again, me and him together, answering questions, doing some games like Would You Rather, different stuff like that. So we're going to be doing that stuff Tuesday night. And then hopefully we can make it either a weekly thing every 2 weeks, something like that, or once a month. It just depends on our different schedules. And we're going to try and, do that. Maybe do other people like our friend Bazaar, other anime people, different stuff like that, and just have them kind of get on there with us at different points. And maybe it'll grow from there into a bigger community thing. We might have more people. Yeah, you. I don't know why. I just had a thing of Ed, Ed and Eddie pop in my head of uh, Teddy Treebark said you should go down to the pond and do whatever because they always get on. They would tape a speaker to something and come up with a name, and then it'd be like, "Hey, you, yeah, you, whatever the name is of the object they were using." They're like, "You should go down into the creek and see da 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 da," alien wranglers or whatever they had. It's funny, Ed and Eddie's one of my favorite shows. So yeah, and if anybody, like Amasco J says, if anybody else wants to um, let us know later on, maybe we can't do it in the current week that we're doing it in because we usually plan all that stuff out. Like we've been writing some ideas and stuff down for the next one. That's fine, but let us know and maybe we can pick you up the week after, something like that, or the next time we do it, we'll let you know, get some questions going, whatever, or you write down your own questions and we'll do that as we go. You can ask them to us on the show. Let us know if you want to ask like one person a question or both of us the question or however you want to do it. So, all right. I Am a Hero. This is one that's in my bag too. This is volume 7. I have volume 6 in my bag, so I need to catch up on that. Volume 6, though, I haven't really wanted to get into and read My Hero or My Hero. I Am a Hero because of the whole fact of um, with Volume 6, it actually differs from our main guy, Hero, which was the guy that was on the cover of that book, and focuses on kind of another separate group of people, which I think he'll meet up with them later, but I really just like Hero story, so that's kind of why that one's taken a little time for me to even get into that. But I mean, it is a good series, so I wouldn't worry about it. Then I have this one, Kuroneko, or Emo Kuroneko. This is a whoop, hold on, I had it backwards. This is like a 6-volume series. I've only read the first 2. I liked or Emo, and this one I was reading through, and I just kind of was like, I want to read something a little more actiony, and I kind of put this one down and forgot about it. So I need to catch up on this one too. But like I said, if there's any of these that you guys say, wait, that one right there, I want you to catch up on that one, then let me know down below, or if you're going to watch the whole video later, whatever you're going to do. Just let me know, and I will try and move that one farther up on my list. Besides the couple series that are in my bag that I'm trying to finish, that series could be the next one I read next week or so, or whatever. So let me know that, though. This one's a big one. I've only read the first one. This one, I feel like it takes it out of me, and I can only read like one volume a day because of how lengthy and informative it is. This one is Detroit Metal City. There's 10 volumes. I've only read the first one. I love this one though because it's a guy. He's like really, really like a nerd, down to earth, all that other stuff. Doesn't do anything, but he's got this kind of darker side to him, which is what was it name? It was, I want to say it was Kaiser, but I don't know. I can't find it. It was like Kaiser Rider the second or something, and he's a screamo metal band guy. So it's really funny because as that guy, when he puts the makeup on and everything, he acts like him. He cusses a lot. He does the whole metal thing, all that. When he's not, though, he really doesn't do that. But sometimes he'll get annoyed and he'll let it slip. That's probably one of my favorite things he does in the story so far. So, and I feel like it's really informative too with heavy metal stuff. It is pretty fun to read, though. As I said, let me move these over. I'm gonna try and slide this one over here. That way I can move it out of the way and get some of these other ones done. So this one, I'm one into it. Well, actually, I'm 1.5 in it. I just haven't looked at it. This one I actually started reading. This is called Big Order. I started reading this as a Scantron on my phone because I just started reading my phone. My brother had downloaded an app, and so I found some that I didn't think I was going to get to read here in America, and I started reading this one. And when the first volume came out and was published, I was like, "Oh my God, that's Big Order." I started reading that one. I'm getting it. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting it. So I ended up getting it. Went through the first one, knew that I read it all. Went through the second one, started looking at it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, here it is." So I'm part of the way through this one, but I still need to finish 3, 4, and 5. I believe 5 is where it ends at. So these are omnibus ones that I need to catch up on. But they're really good. I love it. It's if you have ever seen Hiding Closer, like a Mascio J knows about, wink, or any other things that you have kind of like a little guy behind you. Ed kind of does it too, or Scried, if however you say it. Different things where you have kind of a little spirit guy that travels with you, that's the source of your power. That's what that's about. Big Order, the main character, basically his guy has a square that comes out so far, and when he flies over something using his power or touches it or whatever, anything in that square, he can control it. And if it's touched it before, then it's there. If there's a person that was in the square and he gave them the command, then the command sticks with them, even if they walk out of it. He can sit there, and if he covered the whole world once, he would never have to do it again. He would be able to control the whole thing. So they actually did that in, I think, the beginning of Volume 2. He went to like Osaka and went over the whole place. He flew over the whole place, so he would be able to basically know everything in Osaka, if people were doing anything, any of that stuff. So really cool idea. Yeah. Hiding Closer is kind of like Zetch Bell, where you have like a friend, almost like a Pokemon that travels with you. This one is like you have a power that comes from a little creature or something, but they stick behind you. Maybe closer to Bleach after the spirit comes out of the sword, kind of. Um, so stuff like that. This one, I've read three of them. I've seen the anime, so I do need to catch up on this one a lot too. This one is The Sacred Blacksmith. See if I can angle it where you can see it all. So I am on 4. I need to catch up to 10 though. Really good series though. You know, this one's like a demon, and the Sacred Blacksmith made a sword that's basically like an Oni killer. He can um, make it and enchant it and make it ready for fighting demons or whatever they have to face. Um, I just have like this big stack of ones that are here that are random ones that I need to take from over here and do that. Um, so this next one I'm going to do, I'll have to do it in kind of spurts because for me to hold them all up will probably suck. Just saying. Oh, Sacred Blacksmith, yeah, those were kind of ones that I believe they went too fast, so that was kind of the crappy thing about that. Here is volume 2. There's that. Yeah, when I show y'all this other one, y'all will totally be like, "What the heck?" The series is so big that it's insane. It's pretty quick to read through, but there's so much in an omnibus that it actually has more than Vinland Saga, more than Sekirei, I Am a Hero, anything that I've showed you so far. These volumes just make them pale in comparison because of how big the omnibus form are. And I don't even think the omnibus actually have one um, story in it, or they're not 3-in-1s. I think it's like 3 1/4 or 3 1/2, something like that. I do not have Astro Boy. That and the Little Princess and some of those older ones have on my list for a while, but I kind of grew up a little bit with Astro Boy from my dad, so I really was like, well, if I get Astro Boy, it'll probably just be a collector's item instead of actually reading it. So I kind of held off on that to get some other stuff before I want to try and get it, because I want to know if I get it, if I will turn it into a collector's item or not. That's kind of my only problem with getting some of those, because if I'm not going to read it to enjoy it, I'm a little skeptical on it depending on prices and stuff like that. Especially, I think they are reprinting Astro Boy and stuff. So, anyway, so I finally got to volume 2 after going through all this stuff, which y'all might have seen some of it blur across the screen. That is Lone Wolf and Cub. So this one is huge, like super huge. I don't even want to turn this one on its spine so y'all can see how big it is. But I know I'm going to have to. So this is how big one volume of Lone Wolf and Cub is, an omnibus volume. So let me get number 3. That's 2 of them. These are almost like children's encyclopedias and stuff. And this is, I'm going to put War on here. So this is 2, 3, and 4. I can't even fit my hand around all 3 of them anymore. I have to support it with my other. See, I might be able to get like that many fingers around it. These ones are freaking huge. And the story is really good, though. If you've kind of reading like Blade of the Immortal, stuff like that, this is one that I've heard is kind of close to it, even though it's drawn and written more of like an older style. I think Legend of the Samurai is probably the closest one to it. But I mean, it's a good series. I've only read the first one because I read it and I was like, oh my God, this is going to take me forever. So I decided to kind of hold off on it for a little while. But like I said, in this, comment down below, let me know what you think I should read as far as these ones that I'm showing you. If you go back and watch it later, just say, oh, yeah, I think you should get through that one. Yeah. Reading that one, I either have to set it in my lap reading it, or I have to um, put it on a table and kind of like fluff it out a little bit to read it. It's not one where you can sit there. I'll just use this Boruto. It's not one you can sit there and hold it like this. I mean, it's impossible for you to do that. Here, let me see if I can even do that. I don't think I could hold one side of it. I can kind of do it, but yeah, you have less support holding that one than you do with the other one because of how big it is. And I think I tried to hold part of it before, and I actually had a mark from the corner of the book digging into my hand, and I was waiting for it to go away, and it just kind of stayed there for like, I think it stayed there for like a whole day because it was just sitting there the whole time, and it just indented my skin. That's horrible. I can't believe you said that. If you like Naruto at all, you take that back right now. I do have to agree with that. The name, I totally think should have been different. I think the reason why Boruto is catching so much flack is because they tried to get it after a really big one. If they would have kept it more ninja-ish and kind of just did a spin-off, maybe with like another village or something, I would have loved to see a character from the village of the village, the village hidden in the clouds. Seen a spin-off with a hero we might not have seen, and it could have went up to the point where they had the Great War, that they just did, trying to defeat all the ninjas that came back to life. Um, if they did something like that, that would be totally cool because then they could have enough stuff where it didn't affect it, but then they could still come into it and say, oh, hey, this happened in the village hidden in the leaves or something like that. You'd still be able to have events, that stuff that we already know about, but not really affect that story too much because the village hidden in the clouds never had anything to do with Naruto until like later on. That's all the people that have like the laser powers or lightning powers. Killer B was actually the first guy we saw from that village, and he wasn't even a part of the village anymore. He was defected from it. So, and then we finally got to see his brother, later on, but it could totally be different. So, let's see. I am done with almost everything on the little table, so I'm going to try and reach over here and get some of these other ones so we can move forward with those. There's one. I have one over here that goes with this series, and I had the other three over there. So this is one I like it, but I feel like it's really complicated to get through. For some reason, it loses my interest real hard. And that is Species Domain. This one's really good, but like I said, I feel like it's kind of hard to get through. I do have Hunter x Hunter. If you can see it, I thought it was down here. When I had my shelves over here on this wall, it was in this section for a while. It's actually the series right here on the very top. That's all of Hunter x Hunter that's out so far. So, but yeah, that's one I'm waiting to get into. I really want to read that one. And like I said, whenever I can finish off these other ones, I can jump into that, read Hunter x Hunter or Ubel Blatt, as somebody said earlier, all that other stuff, trying to get into it and finish these other ones that are on this or these TBR shelves. So, or like Amaskio J asked me earlier, getting into Vinland Saga up here on the top. So, but that's what I'm trying to finish these ones. So I'm trying not to start any new series yet, unless it's like a first volume that just came out, like a new one, and then jump into these ones as I go after I get done with these. So some of these I need to catch up on too, because this series I'm behind one, and I'm kind of like, I need to finish this. But that is Higurashi When They Cry. This is one of those weird series that it's like a bunch of miniseries put together. I believe I have up to volume 18. Past volume 18, it goes up to volume 26, and there's one side story spinoff. But I just need to get into it and read it and finish it and do all that stuff. It's one of those, because the story always kind of changes. It's kind of a pain in the butt to read through. So that's really the only thing I hate about that series. But I like it because it feels like a detective series almost, because as you're reading it, it might be a little bit of a different story, but it changes a little bit. As you keep reading every story, it changes. So think about like if all of us were sitting in a room and everybody we knew the stuff that happened to like this small town, but we all speculated what it was, including supernatural events that could have happened, and how all of us would have a different opinion. That's kind of how this is laid out, which I like it. And as you go forward, you have more intel in it. Like we didn't know that one of the girls had a twin sister until the second part, which is volume, I think, 3 and 4. So you get like a little piece of the pie as you keep going, and you get to the point where it's actually where you actually understand it more. So reading the first two, totally getting into that second part was totally a pain in the butt. After being able to do that, though, it was great. I would recommend that one to anybody. It is kind of horror-ish, not too much, but it's spectacular. Why do they cry? Um, well, okay, I'll tell you. So Higurashi in their town stands for cicadas. That's what they are. And so why they call it Higurashi When They Cry is it's when the cicadas cry. So that's basically why it's called When They Cry. Whenever they make that noise, if you live in a place that gets cicadas or anything, we have a couple here, not very many. But when you hear that click, it's like click, 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 click. When they're making their noise, that's why it's called Higurashi When They Cry. So, which they have that other one, Umokikyo When They Cry. I want to read that one, but I'm kind of skeptical because they break theirs out a little weird. But then I remember Higurashi When They Cry is really weird too, how they break theirs out. And I had a card fall out of one of them, which this is one of them. I don't know why I only got one. I've never gotten another one. I don't think y'all can see it from this angle. Maybe there we go. It's kind of a card that they've kind of were giving away with right stuff for a little while. I haven't seen any more come out, so I don't know how I got one. But hey, reaching back here farther. Let's see. Here we can do this one. This is one I have in my bag too, which is Prison School. This is another one I'm trying to catch up on. I have volume 8 in there. I just need to catch up on volume 9 and volume 10. So nothing too crazy on that one. Pretty close to that one, actually, catching up. It's kind of like reading 4 volumes, though, or 5 volumes. I think I'm halfway through the other one. Reaching. What is that? that all goes together. Some of these I just got to look at because I'm like, did I read those or not? Um, this one's one that I do need to catch up on a lot because I have a lot of people telling me this. Do you guys think I should like automatically, maybe after I get done with some of the other ones I'm reading right now, you think I should catch up on this one? This is Tokyo Ghoul Re. I'm only 4 volumes behind, so not too much. I just feel like it's a little bit different than you gonna see it again. That's volume 3. But I'm behind 4 books on it. I just got a new one last week or 2 weeks ago maybe. I know there's one that I do need to catch up on because everybody I feel like they make fun of me. They're like, why are you behind on that series when you read so much? And I'm like, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So, Land of the Illustrious, Volume 6. I got to catch up on this one. This is one that I have been enjoying the art for. It's really nice. All that other stuff. This is one I kind of forgot. Yeah, I haven't started again yet, but when I get there. Glossium Volume 2. This one, it was fun, but it's kind of weird. I feel like it's more of a fighting game. If you enjoy fighting games, it's kind of what it feels like. I can't see any of these ones over here farther because they're all turned to my side. There you go. There's that one I showed y'all earlier, Magica, Swordsman and Sumner. This is volume 9, so I need to add that one back over there to that pile. Sleeping Princess in a Demon Castle. That's just a one that I need to catch up on. Smoke and Parade, volume 4, just one I need to catch up on. Nothing too much. I know Amaskio J will vote for that one. Called you out. I did. Seven Deadly Sins, 27. Food Wars, 25. Need to catch up on those. Put some of these over here so I know that they're there. Sacrificial Princess and the Beast King, great series. Need to catch up on that one. Yeah, she's sleeping all the time. I don't. It's serious, but as a comical side to it, the only thing she tries to do is find a better way to get a better sleep. That's the whole thing. So honest, it's like serious, but it's not. That's what I think is so great about it. So really weird though. Just saying. Let me see if I can reach these other ones back here. We're pretty close to kind of getting close to the end of this. There may be like there's Black Torch in my bag. That's another one that I know is in there that I need to read in general. And then the Doctor Stone one I got the other day. I know I need to catch up on that one too, or at least read it. So this one is Moggy. I have 21 through 27 right there. And then 28, 29, 30, and 31. So that one I'm like 10 volumes behind. Yeah. I mean, it's been in my bag so I can read it, but I've been reading Fire Force. I had finished that one. I was one behind on that one for a little while, and I ended up catching up. And then the next volume came out, and I was like, "Oh crap, I got to read this." So I kind of put everything on hold so I could finish reading that other Fire Force since I just read the 10th one. This one I need to finish it, but I feel like as you get farther in these ones, it gets worse. Yeah, bud. Did you not watch my manga haul that I put up? I think it was earlier today or yesterday. Yes. Yes, if you watch that, you'll see it. It was on there with the No Longer Human and or not the No Longer Human. What was I thinking? Um it's on there with the I Am a Hero. I think that's the book that's on the front of the thumbnail maybe. I can't remember. Maybe. Um This one, though, as the series goes on, I think it gets worse. Well, I'll take that back. The first ones are spectacular. I have loved them every minute, but then they decided that they were going to jump the gun and they were going to do two of these other series ahead of time, and I think they're good in the aspect of the story that they put into them, but I just don't like it because I feel like they're trying to stick to the games too much. But that's Pokemon. These ones are all really, really small. It's probably got 4 chapters in each. Um, but this is Pokemon X and Y. That's my only problem with this series is they made it where it doesn't fit with uh, the first set of red, green, blue. Doesn't fit with yellow. Doesn't fit with silver or gold. Doesn't fit with crystal. Doesn't fit with ruby, emerald. Um, ruby, emerald, or sapphire. But all the other ones of those that like soul silver, heart gold, leaf green, fire red, all that stuff, all of those go together. This one, they kind of like cut their ties with that series and made their own. Even though they're under the same umbrella, they're not. And Black and White was kind of the same way, and that one kind of had a good story, but I didn't enjoy it. This is one that I read the first 2 volumes. Um, Basically, when me and Bizarre did the Bizarro challenge, which is like back in May, I haven't read the rest of these because reading those 2 volumes actually made me upset with the series, and I didn't want to continue reading it. So I kind of hiatused myself from the series for a while, but I know I still need to read it. So that's I kind of was like, well, let me just back away from it, and we'll figure out where to go from there, and I'll just look at it as a different series. So hopefully that one will get good again, but I do not know. So we're getting close to being done. I have one little stack that's over here, and I have this stack right here. So this is my monster secret. I was keeping up to date with this one, but it started kind of turning more comical, and I started kind of like, I don't want to jump back into this one just yet. So I held off on this one too. So I need 7 through 11. But yeah, this one's really good. I would totally recommend this one too, especially if you need a good laugh. I haven't read Livingstone yet, but if I finish a bunch of these, then I can include Livingstone into it. I've tried to read Livingstone like 3 times, and for some reason, I just get deterred where I don't want to jump into them just yet. Wait, what did you say? Oh, the manga hall. I mean, I don't go into it on the manga hall, but you can watch that. Be amazed, be very amazed with what I have. Into the Abyss. This is one I need to catch up on, Volume 3. Clockwork Planet, Volume 8. This is a great one. It started slipping a little bit after I think volume two, um, and it was kind of like, where is the story going? And then they kind of did what they did. Like it took a hit to make itself better. I would say that. One of the, I think it was volume three. I didn't think it was so good, but then I got that and I was like, oh my god, as Clockwork Planet has been coming out, I've been trying to stay up on it. These bigger ones, I kind of put them together and then just kind of didn't do anything with them just yet. So, been waiting to do that though. Um, this is another series I do need to catch up on. This is the one I told y'all that everybody tells me. This is To Your Eternity 3, 4, and 5. Need to catch up on that one. Um, the aspect of it changed. The first volume I love. The second volume I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. But yeah, I need to catch up on that one. Yes, you do need to set up your Right Stuff account. And do you need a credit card? Yes. Add a credit card on there. They hold on to it basically where whenever you go in, you can use your card, but you can't access it without having your stuff, your information, like your, what is it called, your CVS number on the back of the card, um, stuff like that. I believe Right Stuff does have stuff through Amazon as well, so that works out too. Um, I mean, it doesn't have to be a credit card because I use a debit card. So I think you can use a prepaid Visa, yes. But all my stuff usually just goes through, yeah, all my stuff usually just goes through my debit card. So, um, you know, and I get a lot of stuff from them. Obvi- Obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, I probably had maybe 800 volumes before I started using Right Stuff. Maybe more than that, maybe like 1,000. And then it's just grown since I've been with Right Stuff. Right Stuff's kind of like an old friend, I guess you'd say, because I've had Right Stuff for maybe like 4 years now, something like that. So they are spectacular. Like I said, when I hit my milestone, I have a package already of stuff. I've slowly been adding other things to it, but originally they sent me the package and said, "Hey," because I asked them, I said, "Hey, when I hit my milestone, will you guys send me something to give out to my subscribers on YouTube?" And they said yes. So they sent me a little box of goodies to give out. I mean, I've been until my card has to be changed over, which I think I'll have to do it next year or the year after, one of those two maybe. I mean, I just use the same card. There's nothing. The other thing that makes me love Right Stuff so much is Right Stuff. Also, if you have any questions to ask them, they automatically say just include your order number. Don't put your credit card on there. Don't do any of that. If you go on their live stream chat, you can go on there and talk to somebody like in real time. Um, and you can talk to that person. And before you even type your question, there's a thing on the top that's in a box that says, don't include your card number at all. And basically it's like if somebody asks you for your card number, you're supposed to report it to them because they're not supposed to ask you for your customer service. They have people that are higher up that do that if you have any problems with your card. I've had a problem maybe once with my card, and they had to redirect me to that higher up person, and I said, what's up? Da da da. They said, well, uh, and this is how good they are. I'll just tell you that I usually place my orders sometime usually after they close at 5 or right before 5, I placed an order early in the morning with them, and they stopped my card from doing anything because they viewed it as fraudulent activity. So I had to call them, and they said, "Was it you that placed this order?" Da 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 da. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I placed that order." They said, "We just want to make sure because the 4 years you've been with us, you usually place orders at evening time." And they said, "We put a hold on your card from taking anything out from Right Stuff because that was it." So they monitor you so well. I think that's spectacular. And, that's why I totally, whenever anybody talks about like where do you get your stuff or whatever, I always push you should get your stuff from Right Stuff because they really, really care about their customer service. They really do all that. Everybody tries to say hello. They do all that. They try and tell you goodbye. They print out your stuff. Whenever I get a receipt from all my different orders, they'll box it together. I'll get a piece of paper with all my different orders instead of them saving the paper and printing it maybe on both sides or something. There's sometimes when I've gotten 10 pieces of paper because it's been 10 different orders that it came from. So they have really good customer service. They really care about their customers and stuff. You can go watch them sometimes on Snapchat. I mean, they have something on almost every kind of different social media, Instagram, all that stuff. So, Right Stuff is a great company. I totally would recommend them to anybody. Use them. They do all that other stuff. So on top of that, whenever they said yes, we'll send you this box of stuff, that just totally made me say 100%. Even if it was like if I was at 99 before or 99.9, them saying yes, you're about to reach that milestone. Let us send you this box of free stuff for you to give out to your subscribers and whatnot was great. That pushed me over the point to say Right Stuff is probably one of the only places I will really buy a lot of my stuff from. So my only problem though I would say is um, whenever books go out of print, which isn't their fault, sometimes you can't get stuff. So that's probably the only thing is, which if you look at it and if you go to like their Amazon site or anything, you can go through them on Amazon. And I think it's their owner. It's like his account or whatever. I have no idea. Um, and they could have sold out of it because they usually try to take pictures off with some stuff. Sometimes they don't. Um, but if you go to their Amazon site, you can find ones that maybe they've gotten from somewhere or they had, and they'll sell it for a better price than they can on their website since it's official. You can get a better price, on Amazon sometimes if it's an older series that they're not advertising. I've done that too. I ordered some on Amazon that was a series that I got, and it was from them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got this from Right Stuff, but it wasn't Right Stuff. So funny stuff that's happened to me before with that. So anyway, getting back to it. So Children of Wells, Volume 5, got to catch up on that series. Just one, though. Fire Punch, Volume 3, got to catch up on that one. I'm surprised I haven't caught up on that one. Inspectre, Volume 7, need to catch up on this one. Lord Marksman and Vanitas, Volume 8, need to catch up on that. Seventh Garden, 7 and 8. This is one I do need to catch up on. I've been really enjoying this one as of late. The audio, did it go out or something, or are you hearing like a guitar strum? Because I kind of have this song on my phone playing in the background, so you may be hearing that. off and on, but it's just like somebody strumming a guitar, um, and then it kind of comes on, and then it'll restart itself. Hmm. You have me paused. Oh, you don't hear anything either? Oh, okay. I was like, you got some really good ears if you can hear my phone. It's like just barely turned on. And then we have this one, which I thought this was funny. This is a series that I've been reading, but I actually watched Lathis's video um, earlier, and he actually recommended this one to somebody, so I cracked up about it. Mercy Lago. This is a 5, 6, and 7. I need to get caught up on it, but it's really good. Nothing. Let's see. Do. Did I stop talking? That could have been it. Turn the volume up. Are you watching me on your phone or what? Huh. Can you hear me now? I don't know. I'm not tech savvy. I wish I was, but short of touching a computer and shorting it out, that's probably about the only thing that I do. Oh, you know what it is? Turn the ending of it a little bit. That's probably what it is. That happens when I'm using my headphones. Okay, yeah. Sometimes if you on your headphone nozzle when you stick it in there might be a short in your computer somewhere. Sometimes I had an old pair of headset that there was a short, and so all I had to do was I had to twist it a little bit whatever it was plugged into, and it would start working just fine again. There was a way too where I could turn it and it would kill off the right headset, or I could turn it the other way and kill off the left headset. So it's weird. I don't know why headsets do that sometimes, but they do. So, but yeah, so that was all of them I got to catch up on. Are there any that you guys think I should like focus on more than the other ones that I need to read? And then after I probably get about half of these done, which hopefully will take me maybe about 2 weeks. Hopefully, then I can do stuff for these TBRs up here. We'll have to do again afterwards, though. After I get done with all these ones, I haven't started again yet. So when I get there, though, we'll totally. Yeah, that's probably high up on my list right now. That and Moteki. I know it's a lot of reading, but I read maybe like 5 volumes a day or so. Yeah, I do have Vinland Saga too that I need to read. Bizarre, you weren't here earlier. There's my little Aizawa right there. Shota Aizawa from what's it called My Hero Academia. I need to finish that one. Yeah, I think they have a volume 9 that's actually coming out soon. I have a big order that's coming in. Yeah, but now you can see him sitting up on the thing though. He's right there. And I got my Kakashi poster hung up there. I don't think y'all can tell from this far away, but it's actually 8 small pieces that you um, kind of stick up together and it puts in there. It looks that way, doesn't it? But he's actually a little bit higher than the shelf, or the shelf's a little bit higher than my head to do it. So, yeah, so our big series that we had to choose from, though, were Lone Wolf and Cub, Big Order, Sacred Blacksmith, uh, To Your Eternity, My Monster Secret, Case Closed. And then I have some single ones I got to get caught up on. So, Prison School and I'm a Hero are probably the two that I'm trying to get caught up on right now. Besides some of the other ones that I have, like that time I got reincarnated on a slime, as a slime, and Black Torch. So, any other questions? I just watched. Well, I started. I fell asleep watching it. Yeah, we do. How much manga have you gotten? 13. Well, hopefully, whenever we hit that milestone, I have some more manga in there. And if you're one of the people that I get in the drawing, you'll have some more before December. You have any questions as of being new to manga? There's some people I feel like they want to ask questions too early sometimes. They want to ask them like right when they're reading the first volume. They're like, I'm reading my first volume of Bleach or Naruto. What should I do from here? And you're like, you haven't even like put your feet in the water yet. Like, at least get up to 10 volumes before you ask somebody that. Is it worth buying Fairy Tale? Yes. Fairy Tale was amazing. The only one I compare it to is One Piece. Um, because One Piece and Fairy Tale are slow starting out. Um, let's say like I had a series that was 10 volumes and all the action and stuff in it they did really well and it was 10 volumes and stuff and that's where they ended it. Fairy Tale and One Piece take the action and they actually extend it out more so to maybe instead of being a 10 volume series, it's a 20 volume series. It's not like you go you have to go defeat the Black Knight, and then you have to go defeat the Demon King, and then you have to go defeat this dragon. It's nothing like that. They continuously, gradually move up. So it's like you defeat the Black Knight, then you go and defeat the Black Knight captain. You know, it's really slow going through it, but it's amazing all the way through, which is what I love about both those series. A lot more than other stuff. A lot of people told me, "Oh, it's too slow to." Well, there was a reason it was slow. That's how it reached, basically 72 volumes. That's why it went so slow. Instead of, oh, here's all this action and stuff, and it only getting up to 30 something volumes. They could have done that, but the guy actually planned it out carefully where it did that. Yes, I would totally agree, though. Fairy Tale was worth buying it. The Gaiden series, there's two books out for it, based off of right now. It's based off of the Lightning or the Sabretooth guys, which you'll get to them later. It's another guild. Um, the Sabretooth guys, which are the Light and Darkness dragons. It has a side story for them in that one book. You also have a side story for um, before that. Well, after that, you have it's called Rhodonite, for Gajil, which is the Iron Dragon. That's probably the one that if you're at least up to 10 volumes on that one, you probably know about Gajil. He used to be an enemy. It's kind of. So we won't go in depth in that, but that's what that one is. The next one that comes out, Volume 3, comes out basically, I think in November. Um, in November, they're going to do it on Laxus, which, so if you watch the anime, Laxus was the lightning dragon, which I can't wait for that one to come out. And then they had Fairy Tale Zero, which is based off of the first Fairy Tale captain, chief person, or guild master, Minerva. Not Minerva. That's an enemy person. Mavis. So Zero, the three Gaiden series, are all ones I would say get and read. Um, there's ones you could exclude from that though, which are Fairy Tale Ice Trail. It's based off of Gray's life, but it's different. It's only 2 books long. Then you have Fairy Tale S, which so far it's only 2 books long. I need to catch up reading that one, so I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be a third book of Fairy Tale S or not. Probably not, since Eden Zero is starting to come out. You have Fairy Girls. They don't even call it Fairy Tale Girls. Um, and that's based off of Urza, Windy, the Wind Dragon, um, Lucy, and Juvia. And it's kind of a little squad of them. Well, two of the spinoffs actually go with the story. They actually mention them in the story at different parts. So I don't consider those spinoffs. They're just kind of side stories that go with it, but they have different names. There's really only like 4 spinoffs for it, which is Ice Trail off of Gray's Life, Fairy Girls, um, Fairy Tale S, and I think that one's more of a comical one. And there is that might be all. I keep thinking there's one more, but I don't think so. Yeah, yeah. The other one, the Gaiden series and Zero and the base series were all made by um, the actual author and stuff. They're not spin-offs or anything. Everything else is a spinoff though. But Fairy Tail is and Fairy Tail, I would have to say, is probably one of the most successful manga that has spin-offs. And obviously it's got to be better at it than Naruto because no, as both of y'all said before, y'all think Bar sucks. AOT does have some, um, but my stance on that. Before the Fall is better than regular AOT. The side stories of Levi and the two girl ones are both, I would have to say, on my list above regular AOT until we get to the part of the story where we are now, where they've done their time jump skip thingy, where it's like 20, 30 years into the future. Um, Now it's spectacular. I don't know what they did or what concept they wanted to come up with. They kind of did the same thing, like I was telling you, where a series will take a downward spiral and then they kick up the volume again where it's better. Send it back, waiter. It did. Burrito does look like burrito a lot of the times, doesn't it? So, yeah. If Boruto was a burrito, what would we do? But yeah, you got any other questions on other series or anything? Where's the tea? Right. I mean, I could have a tea or like my glass bottles here, the little Japanese soda. I think I'm gonna do something with these right here. I have some more in a box somewhere. I think I'm gonna try and pull the cap of them off, or bust the bottle and get the marble out, and maybe have like a little jar full of marbles or something I got from drinking Japanese soda. Pepper Doctor, man, that might be bad. Yeah. Yeah, there's only two of them I'm going to keep, which are over here on a shelf. I whenever we went to a beach, they had it was called like Simply Sweet or something. It was a candy store, and they had two of them that I found. One's a melon flavor, and the other one is, I think, a watermelon flavor. Maybe. I don't know. I have to look at them again. But it's got one of them's got Sasuke on it, and the other one's got Gara on it. So those are probably the only ones I'm going to clean out, or I think I already had them out, maybe. But leave them because they actually have the advertisement on the bottle for both of them. Watermelon by itself or watermelon flavoring, because that's two different things. Usually, regular watermelon, I like that here and there. It just depends. Um, but do you like putting salt on your watermelon? You can answer me that. I don't know if anybody else will judge you. I don't really judge people, so okay. Yeah, I don't like salt on my water. I don't really like salt. If I get fries from a place or anything, or like whenever we go, um, whenever we go like to a Mexican restaurant and get like chips, I have different friends that like to put salt on them. I'm like, I don't like salt. Don't put it on there. Sugar on strawberries, right? I mean, sugar on watermelon. You could do that too, but I don't know. Supposedly, it's like a big southern thing, but I've seen some people in my family do it, but I don't like enough to put salt on my watermelon. So I don't know what it's supposed to do. Maybe it's one of those other things like no, I've never pickled a watermelon. Um, oh no, whenever you have it, you have like your slice of watermelon. You take like a salt shaker and you shake the salt on it and then you eat it. It's weird. I found out some weird stuff. Just telling you. Did anybody know back in like the 60s? Let me know if you knew this. I didn't know this for the longest time until my mom brought it up the other day, and I was like, "What?" Whenever you used to go into a bar, or whenever you got a soda back in the day, they would give you peanuts, and you would put the peanuts in there with your beer or in your like Coca Cola. I've I never knew that, and she told me that, and I was like, I might have to try that. It does sound something, but it's weird. Sweet pickles versus bread and butter pickles. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Although now you're making me think because I have I kind of did like a semi diet like last year, and one of the ladies that I haven't had in my office, she was pregnant, and so she like really wanted just the pickle juice, and so I lost the key to my desk, so I've had these pickles for like ever, and now I'm trying to like hand them out to people. So like whenever somebody walks past my desk, I'm like, "Hey, you want a pickle?" Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, have y'all? Has anybody ever heard of peanuts inside of a Coke or in a beer? You just want me to say that, don't you? That's a douche move, Amasco J. I can't believe you did that. But hey, you do it on your channel all the time for me, so I guess I'll do it on my channel for you. I got to get the voice going though. Action. All right, you ready? Action bastard! Oh, ho, 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 ho. There you go. I told you that's one of my. Shin Chan's probably one of my favorite shows, especially with the action bastard parts, just because it's funny. It is, right? I think more people should do that. If you watch Shin Chan, you'll know about it. Just saying. Oh no, I'm not good at that. Not even anywhere near close. You can catch me attempting it if I'm in the car though. I can swap my voice around, and a lot of people will tell me that's crazy because they're like, I don't understand how you do that. But I can make it real high or real low, and so I can kind of do that. Well, on some of the stuff that I have, like um, Ohio's for Lovers, different songs like that, I'll try and do it. And the funniest thing is when I get my brother to do it. To be a man, you must be as good as the raging river. Yes, no, yeah, Hawthorne Heights. Some of their stuff, I'm really good at that. But yeah, any more? You got any? You got any more uh, manga questions? Spring Sierra, Sierra, or Mascio J. You got any questions? Or anybody else? My other person that might be bizarre, or I know there are other two people. If you have any questions on a series or anything, if I've read it, I can tell you about it. If I know about it, I can tell you about it. Sometimes, if I don't know anything about it, I'll try and tell you if I could, or can, or something. It just depends. Oh, I keep forgetting y'all can't hear the music. I think art style is more of an opinion. Um, I don't want the hardcover. I already have the soft cover. I'd have to sell off my series just to get the hardcover, and then I'd be like, no, why even do that? Um, yeah, picking art styles for manga is kind of a rough argument. You would have to argue if you thought that art from like the Roman Empire was as good as like a Van Gogh painting, different stuff like that. It's kind of a different beast because of different people's creativeness. Um, I gravitate more towards the lineage that came off of kind of Rurouni Kenshin and Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, all that stuff, because all of them kind of learn from each other. Were either an assistant to one of each other at some point, or assistants together to somebody. There's a big old long line of people that have done that. Um, but I would probably say the one that I like the least may be like the Demon Flower series that I have, where the people are just like really long and lanky. They don't have like any like muscle to them, and everybody looks like a girl. That's my only problem, because I'm like, I know this person's supposed to be a guy, but they don't look like a guy. So, you know, and it's fine because sometimes you can have those characteristics that still look that way, but when almost every character looks the same, it's kind of hard for me. So that's about it. I probably read that series, which is four, and it went on hiatus, so we won't ever get any more from them. Um, it jumped back and forth, maybe a couple times that I didn't know if the Master Sensei guy was this other main character guy or whatever. So I thought, how is he like talking to these demons and stuff when he's not even there? And it would just kind of jump back and forth. And I was like, I'm so confused right now. I'll have a new profile pic, maybe, or I might have a new banner on one of my other things. That'd be fun. You know all my avatars on all my accounts of Masco J yet? All of them? Well, whenever they make that one, hopefully it's good enough for me to get. Hey, look, Bazaar's finally back. Took him forever. Okay, so I'll tell y'all, because I think all mine is finally Jim Graves. I finally got them all converted over, either making them new or whatever. So YouTube is Bell Cranel from Is It Wrong to Try and Pick a Girl Up in a Dungeon? Goodreads is, I can't remember his name. I think it's Yo, but he's from Darker Than Black. Um, Twitter is Jen from Yu Hakusho. Instagram is Instagram is. Let me look. I forgot. Instagram is Graves from Gungrave. And then my last one is probably my Tumblr. I had a Tumblr before, so I just kind of put it on there and then swapped it over. My Tumblr account, though, has, if I can get this swapped over to look at it, um, is the Ashikabi guy from Sekirei. Whatever, you take that back. Oh, we would make a good comedy show. I'm sure Me with Anybody would make a good comedy show, which is really funny because sometimes whenever I'm talking to Bizarre, he says that you crack him up. So that's kind of funny. Likewise, sometimes y'all crack me up. So we got some options there. If we all crack each other up, then we may be able to get like a good talk show thing kind of going on. But yeah, anybody else want to ask any more questions? Um, Another thing, so I'm like 10 subs away, guys. 10 subs away before I hit 250. If y'all could put out a good word, that would be nice so I can hit that. And then, because I only ever advertise myself when I get like 10 away. Um, no, I'm 10 away from 250, Goob. Um, but yeah, when I hit 250, I have to do a special video. Whenever I hit like a 50 mark, I do a special thing on something out of my life. If it's a 100 mark, ending in double zeros or something like that, I usually do a Q&A. So I already have done the Q&A, which was good because I only got away with like 3 people asking questions instead of a bunch of people asking questions. And this one though is what's the meaning behind my tattoos for 250. So I don't think I have played that game, but it does sound fun. Anything that's spelled weird like that, and it's Nordic. That's what it looks like. Um, no, right now games that I'm playing are I am playing Valkyrie Chronicles on the PS4. So that's a really fun game. I'm actually sticking to it, trying to play it like if it was a Pokemon game and keeping my guys alive and all that other stuff. Going back and doing like old missions to get more experience points so that I can upgrade their weapons and do all that other stuff to move the game forward. I am now farther than I was on the PS3 playing that. But I hope maybe sometime after I get paid next or something like that, then I can get like Warriors Orochi, stuff like that. I don't know why. I just really, really enjoy it. So I do need to do that at some point. Um, let's see. And then, yes, manga has, for lack of a better terms, manga has almost always sold out better than comics. Now, so more because of just all the stuff that happens. Um, but manga, um, that's kind of how they pick if it stays around or not, is how much it sells. So you do know like a bigger number because of it and stuff like that. So you know, and that's another thing. If you've read Bakuman or anything, that's another thing I like about that is because they actually get into that. They tell you like why we have certain ones that we do or ones that we don't. A lot of it is basically based off of the Japanese community. Whenever you read um, your Shonen Jump magazine or whatever over there, they have a survey that comes out too that you fill out and you do all that. And you fill in like what's your top three manga, all the way down to whatever. They take all of them that come out and they figure out how how is it rated, how did people like it, different stuff. Usually, the top three out of everything collaboratively um, are what make it and move forward. Things below that, they'll give it chances, stuff like that. Anything that's like on the bottom of the list, they let it sit there maybe for, because those come out weekly, they maybe let it sit there for a month or two, and then they turn around and say your series isn't getting any better. We're going to have to drop it, and they'll give them like 2 more weeks to kind of fix up the manga. I don't know. I mean, I like how they did it. It is really good, and if you're planning on reading Death Note, you should totally read it. I don't think enough people know about that. The way that it is written is for the Death Note people starting out. Like most of it goes off of their life, a little dramatized, but moves forward. Stuff like that. Um, but at the end of it, it's related to the story that they write in the series. Um, is written based off of Death Note, and if you look at it, you can totally tell that that's what it is. Um, you can tell that they actually went out of their way to do that, and like as I've said before, Yu Yu Hakusho should have ended earlier than it did. It didn't though because basically if you were successful they were like keep going, keep going, keep going, and if you were ready to give up on your manga or that's all you wrote, they were forcing you to write more to it. So sometimes it didn't work out as good as it should have. So that's kind of the only bad thing about that. um and then you have like eating a cannibal. I i feel like that could get very serendipitous very fast, because if a cannibal ate a cannibal and then you ate the cannibal or whatever, it would almost be like a weird turducken sandwich or whatever, which I've never had one of those. But it's like three birds stuck inside of each other. I mean, it'd be one cannibal inside of another cannibal inside of you. So weird stuff. Well, maybe if the carrot ate another carrot, then that serendipitous stuff would come out about your hamster. A tofurkey. That's I mean, it's fake tofu that looks like a turkey. It's just still tofu. They just I don't know why they call it a tofurkey, but Um, sometimes. I'm not a big fan every time about tofu. It depends on how it's cooked because basically it only tastes like how it gets cooked. Um, but you should try timfa. If you look at that, it's a different form of tofu that they actually take from tofu. It's a different part. I feel like we're talking about a pig or a cow or something. It's a different part of the tofu. Um, it's sweeter and it looks more like long grains of rice or oatmeal, something stuck together. It's sweeter though, and it's really good. That's probably one I like more. But yeah, stuff like that happens. Yeah, but none of that crap that we have here. You need like some real ramen. There is I found a store the other day that we have that you can they make udon in their store or at their place, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can try udon. Which I mean, I've had udon and I've had the other one. I can't remember what it's called. Um, Japanese dipping noodles. That's another thing that they're called soba. And I like them. I like them both. So I wish we had more places like that around. Um, well, I'll tell you both of them. So soba looks exactly like wheat colored spaghetti. That's what it looks like. You can get it made different ways. You can have them cold, and then they're considered Japanese dipping noodles, where you eat them cold and you dip them into soy sauce or something like that, and you eat them. Or you can get them in a broth or a soup or something, and then it's just yakisoba, different stuff like that. Um, and then you have udon, which udon is usually the traditional long strand noodles. Sometimes they call them 100-year noodle because it's supposed to be one continuous noodle in your broth that's there. Um, it it's kind of like a plump spaghetti noodle. Um, it's usually about the size of a little less than maybe a quarter. Well, less than a penny. Think about maybe like a pencil. Think if it was a long pencil, but it was a noodle. That's kind of as thick as it is. Um, and udon is usually what you get with a bunch of like other stuff in hot pots, stuff like that. So udon is usually the go-to that you have in ramen. Sometimes it's not, but that's usually what that one is. There's a lot of Japanese stuff that I want. Me and Mazar talked the other day about pizza, and there's a guy that's an artist person that's in Bakuman, and we were talking about ordering one of the pizzas like he ordered. Well, it's like I have to go back and look at it. It's like corn and shrimp and something else pizza, and I was like, oh goodness, that's crazy. But we were gonna see if we could find it and make that and try it at some point maybe, and let each other know what we thought about it. Yes, I I know how to use chopsticks, and I know how to use chopsticks dexteritatively, however you would say that word. I might have said it wrong. Um, I am really quick with chopsticks too. A lot of people think that it's pretty crazy as fast as I can accurately pick up my food and eat it and continue to use my chopsticks. Um, somehow I guess I was just born with mad chopstick skills that I don't know. I'm really good at it though, so it's kind of weird. I've even caught somebody's nose with them. You know, while they were sitting there, they were talking about it. We got done eating, and I had my chopstick still. And instead of like whacking them up the back of the head, you know, I had my chopsticks and I grabbed their nose real quick. So pretty crazy though. I don't know. Maybe I might be Mr. Miyagi good. I don't know though. A Maskio J might be uh, Mr. Miyagi good, but we don't know, right? Yeah. Wax on, wax off, paint the fence, scrub the floor. So, but yeah, guys, man, I got a lot of manga to catch up on. What's it? Kuvard. I can't even remember where they use that at. I've seen all three Karate Kids at work because they've been showing it on AMC or whatever. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say coward, and I was like, but oh yeah, pretty crazy though. I'm still waiting for Amasco J to send me all his Dragon Ball Z Funko Pops. I know you're not going to send those. I do need a couple of those though. Maybe just like the Piccolo and the Boo. Not a lot. Trying to start getting stuff to like line my shelves out, and I don't really have that much stuff. That's the only bad thing. Hey, sometimes they'll still yellow. It all just depends. Depends on the sun, and it depends on what kind of material they used when they were printing it. Some of it, if they put like a certain chemical in with it or whatever, it can ruin the oxidization and it'll oxidize faster. Which they've been doing that forever. If you look at old like books you can get from libraries and stuff, and they're kind of that old like rustic yellow. That's usually what happened to that because they didn't put like they put chemicals in there where it would last, but they wouldn't put chemicals in there for it to stay white. So something more modern day that we have. Or you could get some more Funkos, you know, like a Shota Aizawa. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to start stacking. You may have to put one of the Funkos in there with your hamsters. They might all get a buddy in there with them. Yeah, some of them you can't keep them from doing it, and people think that sometimes covering them up it does it. Oh yeah, you know they would. Um, and some people think that putting wraps and stuff on them will do it, and I think it would help a little bit. It doesn't help a lot though. Most of that comes from the sun, and you're keeping moisture and stuff in the bag with them. Unless you seal them kind of like how I do. I do it like tight. So why not in December, right? Well, you got some. I need to order some, but you got some birthday presents coming or Christmas presents. One of the two, and I know exactly what I'm getting you. Exactly. Well, of the 8 things that you may be getting, at least 6 of them are reasons why you should take a hide and closer off of your giveaway shelf. Maybe I can't tell you that. Not even a little bookshelf, a little bitty one. If you have a desk to put them on too, I mean that's still good. I used to have mine all stacked in. I had a really cool like corner desk, and I had all mine kind of stacked in there in different areas. That was about it. Like in the CD slots and all that other stuff, I had manga stacked in the CD slots or DVD slots or whatever. I wish I still had that desk though. I ended up breaking it and giving it away and stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was such a good like desk though. So a little upset when it went away. And now Walmart doesn't even carry them, and nobody makes it anymore. So I was like, dang it. Oh, in your book bag, you may have to put those on your desk. It's the only thing I hate about carrying mine in my bag so much is that um, from the shaking of your bag, it will kind of like ruffle the corners of them and stuff. That's the only bad thing I hate. Hate when it does that. So a mounted shelf. I have one with I think a music thing on it. Yeah, yeah. If I had a better shelf set up, but I have these two right here, and I have this one over here, and right now I have 3 more right here that I need to end up actually scooting over. Then I'm going to get one more from my mom to put on the end. She's going to clean it off. I had a metal shelf in my storage room, and she's going to take that one off and let me have the other wooden one. And then I was going to try and see if I could put one over here in the corner. So I have one, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8 right now. So that would be 10 bookshelves in this room altogether if I could get them all. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm that good or not. So it's my big dilemma right now. Um, are you asking Sarah or me? Oh, um, sort of yes, sort of no. I have my own house, but I rent from my mother. So that's really where a lot of this stuff comes from with me being able to hang stuff up in my room and all that, or in this room. So But yeah, that's kind of where all the stuff comes from. I just have room to do that. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. Moving out in October, college, going to college, or in college. Where are you moving to? Just moving out. You're moving to Mexico. I want to go to Mexico. I've been to Canada once. I've never been to Mexico. I'm ready to travel a little bit. Oh, it's bad in Mexico? Well, we have you live a bridge over from Canada. I'm coming to see you. Let's go. My aunt lives. One of my great aunts live in New York, and we went to go see her. That's when we went over to Canada. So, and they lived like a bridge over. You know, you could sit there and look and see the bridge from their house. Um, so one day we drove over and went and ate at the mall and all that other stuff, which is pretty cool. And another day we went to a little Chinese restaurant that was over there that we had to take by boat. So my aunt's family put the boat in the water and we got over there. There's an old joke about that. You're supposed to get you a dog to tell you how to drive. I can't remember the full joke about it, but that's what it was. You get a dog to do that. I think the joke's like a guy had a dog that told him how to drive, and the reason why he had to stop driving is because the dog started going blind, so it couldn't see him or it couldn't see what to do. Yeah, but yeah. Yesterday we got stuff. We have a when we work on Saturday, we have a place that works like right beside us. It's a food truck. They do authentic Mexican food, so it's really good. I tried tripa and um, al pastor and other stuff, cabeza, um, buche. So I'm a big like cooking person too, though. I like to cook. Yeah, we do. We usually get like flour tortillas with like polo or something like that, and different stuff like that. The last big thing I ordered from them was the last time we did it, which was probably 2 weeks ago. I got a burrito with al pastor and cabeza and chorizo on it. It was great. All the different kinds of cuts of meat. Mm. Now you're making me want to go over there and get some. I don't know if they're there today or not though. But anyway, guys, I guess it's about time to get off of here because we're almost up to 2 hours that I've been on my recording of this. So I know the first half is manga reviews, and then the second half is just us talking. So anyway, but yeah, I will see all you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around, Sierra, Masco J, and I will catch y'all later on. I know I may have some other filming I need to do today, and I'll upload those tomorrow or something. But yeah, bye. Jen Graves signing out. Yep. Okay, yeah, I got to. So Tuesday, anybody that watches this video later, well, I guess it would be in real time for y'all. Anybody that watches this video later, come go to Amasco J. You can see him in the comments. Click on his profile and go to his. Tuesday night, is it Eastern Central Time? Is that what it is? I don't know. It's 8 o'clock for me, 9 o'clock for him. So we're just an hour off. We will be doing a kind of chat hangout thing where we will be maybe playing like some Would You Rather, Smash Pass, all this other different stuff, talking about manga in general, and tips, tricks, and more. Just a bunch of different stuff. So anyway, stay tuned and watch that later on. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, get with me later on. Ask me on another video, or ask Amasco J. So I think Amasco J will be hosting the first one, and if I can figure out, I'll probably be hosting more of them in the future. So anyway, that will be it. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.